Hello friends, let us now learn some important points about diaphragmatic trauma or injury. The most common cause of diaphragmatic trauma is penetrating injury more than blunt injury. This penetrating injury is seen below the nipple and above the costal cartilage. If it is due to blunt trauma, then compressive forces are applied to pelvis and diaphragm, thus causing diaphragmatic injury. If you see the clinical features, the most common clinical features in diaphragmatic trauma is asymptomatic. In almost more than 80% of cases, these are asymptomatic, and respiratory distress are only seen if there is any visceral herniation. Then the most common organ herniated is stomach, followed by colon, followed by small intestine. The most accurate evaluation is by diagnostic laparoscopy, followed by video assisted thoracoscopy. This diagnostic laparoscopy is done to rule out the intra-abdominal injury. Then treatment is, if there is very small defect, that is around 0.5 to 0.5 centimeters, then you will have to suture the defect. No role of conservative management is seen in diaphragmatic injury because the lesions will gradually enlarge. Patient comes with diaphragmatic defect, and if there is enlarged defect, then there is chances of organ herniation. Then as all the diaphragmatic defects are managed by non-absorbable sutures and mesh repair. You should not leave any diaphragmatic injury because there is no role of conservative management in diaphragmatic injury, because all the lesions which are present or which are related to the diaphragm will enlarge and they will cause organ herniation, which might lead to the death of the patient. So never and never will we leave them for conservative management. Always we will have to repair the diaphragmatic injury. One more thing, in diaphragmatic injury, in CECT you will find the collar sign in diaphragmatic injury. Then we have something called as Berquist triad. Berquist triad shows fracture of ribs, spine and pelvic fractures. There is traumatic rupture of diaphragm is also seen in Berquist triad. Then we have blast injuries. Blast injuries include, we have primary blast injuries. These primary blast injuries are mainly caused by the explosion of shock waves. These are caused by explosion of shock waves. So these primary, whenever there is a blast, there will be change in barometric pressure. So this barometric pressure change in the air will damage the air filled organs like middle ear, lungs or GIT. So among all them, the most common injured organs are tympanic membrane followed by lungs. Blast injuries can be divided into two types. One, we have air blast injuries. Second, we have water blast injuries. In air blast injuries, the most commonly air blast injuries will injure the tympanic membrane. But in air blast injuries, most severe injuries is to the lung. Then in water blast injuries, when the head is submerged in the water, then the most common organ injured is tympanic membrane and most severe organ is GIT. When the head is out of the water, then the most common organ injured and most severe organ injured both is GIT only. So it depends upon whether it is air blast or water blast, and again whether the head is submerged in the water or head is outside the water. So this is about the blast injuries. Thank you for watching.